Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Ratatouille from Pixar. This is the 2007 movie. It runs about an hour and 51 minutes long, and yeah, this is one of the classics. It's kind of weird to even bother to say that because they all seem like classics. Um, I mean, this is some that are less classic than others, but honestly, with a track record like Pixar, it, it's not a difficult designation to earn. It's maybe they could tell you differently that they work hard at making sure these are classics, that these are that resonate with the viewers, and they do a great job. This film is directed and screenwritten by Brad Bird, which you would know from the Incredibles movies, and also Iron Giant and things like that. Um, he is also there's also Michael Giacchino, who is the composer. He does like a ton of the Star Trek stuff, but also the Incredibles. So they're working with a team that they're really familiar with. Um, it's got a humongous cast of incredible people. Remy the rat that you see right here is Patton Oswalt, comedian. He's just sort of a he's a rat with rarefied tastes. Let's just say that he can tell the ingredients of something just by sniffing it, where everybody else, all the other rats around him, pretty much go, "Oh, that looks like it could be eaten. I think I'm going to eat it." They are not too picky. Remy's different, and when something goes wrong, uh, and it separates the family, Remy finds himself in Paris, and he is he finds himself outside of a restaurant that that was run by a character that named Gusteau, who was a television chef. He also wrote a book about anyone can cook. He's a guy who just encourages people to take their hand at the art of cooking. And Remy fully believes in this guy's message, and he gets mixed up with a guy named Linguini, played by Lou Romano. Pretty sure maybe Ray Romano's son or brother. I'm not sure. Um, Either way. Oh, by the way, Brad Garrett plays Gusteau, the restaurateur. Uh, so there's a everybody loves Raymond kind of vibe going on here. Uh, there's also, basically this is a restaurant that's run that's since Gusteau has passed on, is being run by one of his assistants, the sous chef, since then, played by Ian Holm. Ian Holm, a lot of you may know as the old Bilbo from the Lord of the Rings movies. He passed away just last summer. So yeah, it's he. Everybody, by the way, everybody is fairly either American or English in this for the most part, and they all have to affect a French accent. Janine Garofalo plays what's her name? Come on, Colette. Yeah, Colette. Forgot the name. Sorry. So Janine Garofalo's in this as well. There's Brian Dennehy plays Remy's dad. One of the most interesting castings is Pete Sohn, who plays Remy's brother, Emile. Peter Sohn is one of the story artists on the film, and apparently he must have just. It's one of those things they do every so often. Where they get some of the people making the film to step in and do voices for the characters as they're putting things together, test reels and stuff like that. And apparently he got to keep the job, so he went all the way to production. So that's kind of cool for a guy who's just like, I draw rats. I'm animating and I'm drawing rats, and now I get to be one of the rats. It could have easily gone to a major actor, but no. Oh, one of the other actors we have to. Well, I shouldn't say one. There's a number of them. One of the cooks is played by Will Arnett. He's Lego Batman and BoJack Horseman. He's all over. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you which one he is, but you'll figure it out. But Peter O'Toole plays this grim Bela Lugosi like critic. So everybody fears him, and so but the classic actor Peter O'Toole gets to gets his feet in a his dips his feet into a Pixar film. I mean, how amazing is that? So yeah, this is chock full of great acting performances by voices you'll recognize, or you should, and the story is just it's by the end you're just like, oh, for me, I actually kind of got misty. It was just so well done. It's not a it's every film doesn't necessarily fit the same mold as the previous film that Pixar puts out, and they put out they change up their stories. I mean, Brad Bird didn't write the original story treatment for this. He wrote the screenplay, but he is a screenwriter. But so yeah, it's based on another person's story, but still the idea is how they bring it to the screen is kind of just freaking magical. So yeah, well, basically, like I was saying a minute ago, he runs into a guy named Linguini who's just got hired at Gusto's. He's a unassuming, dorky, afraid of his own shadow, and he's hired as a garbage boy, and somehow he gets mixed up with Remy, and the two of them form a bond, which allows Linguini to become one of the greatest chefs in all of France, with Remy's help. And I know last week on Saturday Night Live they actually had this is how this still resonates after, what is this? This came out in 2007. It's 2021. It's they made a dumb sketch that involved Ratatouille, and yeah, it was unsettling. So at least it bothered my friend of mine. He was just really freaked out about it. But still, it shows that the stories and the characters and the concepts still live on years later. It's kind of funny. So yeah, I can't recommend this thing enough, because if you haven't somehow seen this, I guess, are you a Disney fan? I don't know. I'm not going to gatekeep anybody, so sorry if that came across wrong. Take the time to revisit it, because honestly, I don't think I've watched this since 2007 myself. I own the DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and now obviously it's on Disney Plus. But I'm trying to think, have I watched this? Because since then, because there's a lot of stuff that I didn't remember, and that just the visual cues of certain things, and how they show the Anton Ego, the critic, how they show just how menacing and how foreboding of a character he is. They shoot from above, and his office looks like it's shaped like a coffin. His typewriter looks like it's the shape of a skull. There's just so many little details that you have to take in when you're watching this, and yeah, I think it's worth repeated watches. And it's I think this is just like a lot of the food in this. The story itself is kind of like comfort food. It's kind of like Ratatouille for some people. But yeah, I think this is something that, yeah, honestly, if you haven't seen this in a long time, give it another watch. It's if you got kids in the house or too young to remember that this was ever a movie, it's time to watch it. And I think you're all going to get a huge kick out of it. And even if you've never seen it, you can't go wrong with this film, unless somehow you're completely freaked out by rats. Then that's your own problem, I guess. So, yeah. So, by the way, one of the things I thought was kind of strange about this is I thought it was like maybe a 1950s era, 1960s, but like there's a black and white television that somebody was watching at one point. Then I realized that, oh well, there was certain other elements like a microwave oven and a motorcycle and other things that are referenced in this. So it looked like it's actually set in modern day. So that was kind of weird. If you go to Disneyland Paris, I hear there's a Gusto's there, a restaurant. They've also are building up. I don't know if they've launched it yet, but a new Ratatouille ride that takes you from a rat's point of view through the experience of the film. So one of these days, I hope I can get out there to Paris if we all survive this. Yeah, let's hopefully we can get out to Paris, Disneyland Paris, to experience those rides. And I think I might order the Ratatouille. All right, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
457.
457. So we're staying in the 400s, huh? Wasn't it 400 yesterday? Oh, interesting. Here we go. We're going to watch Ruby Bridges. So, if you know what that is, then you know how relevant that is right now. Let's come back here tomorrow, and we'll talk all about Ruby Bridges on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. See you back here tomorrow. Bye.